Hello and welcome to this week's Campus News Update. I'm Courtney Gear.
And I'm Colleen McCormick. On this week's update, we have the best tips on sending successful emails and a striking update on QU men's baseball and women's softball. Topping our news this week, drug dogs swarmed the campus on Tuesday, but don't worry, it was a friendly visit from our furry visitors. Fryersfield was the scene for Dog Days, where police dogs and their handlers demonstrated how they searched for narcotics as well as the bite suit. The event was hosted by the Criminal Justice and Communication Departments and meant for QU students and campus visitors that included 6th and 8th graders from St. Francis Grade School. Canine officers see great benefit from holding events like Dog Days.
I think Dog Days is to help the community and all of the children that came out here to see what the canine officers bring to the city of Quincy and what their skills and capabilities are and why it's important that Quincy and Adams County has canine officers and are able to utilize them to keep our community safe.
The QU Symphonic Band had a busy weekend as they finished their final performance of the semester. The Symphonic Band continued to keep the spirit of music alive on campus. The band consists of more than 30 students and a dozen community members. Another surprise guest made his way to the concert via projector to entertain the crowd. The senior members were recognized and several students were honored as scholarship recipients, including senior Darren Lillard, junior Cody Piesold, and sophomores Matthew Cornwell, Miranda Geyer, and Jacob Schumacher. These students shared some insight as to why they enjoy being a part of the music department.
But I just decided, let's do it. Let me do what I like, not what I need to do. More like, I like to do this. I love music, and I want it to be part of my life for as long as I live.
Well, you have to really apply yourself to every situation learning anyway. So, and I think QU helps individuals grow in that way.
Things got pretty wild on campus last weekend, as in the annual Hawk Wild competition. Friday night, teams participated in air band competition to earn points for their teams. The Hawk Wild games took place in Pepsi Arena on Saturday this year due to the weather, but that didn't stop students from having a good time. The contest consisted of an assortment of smaller games as well as a variety of inflatable competitions. Students see Hawk Wild as one last weekend before finals arrive.
I think it's a really good event that just gets everybody out, whether you're an athlete or you're a musician or you're in whatever group. Everybody competes, everybody just has a good time, hanging out together for a day.
And speaking of winners, last Monday, QU held its annual Scholarship Luncheon. The luncheon is a special day where scholarship recipients have a chance to meet their benefactors. This year's lunch was held in the Pepsi Arena and had more than 300 students and donors in attendance. Donors were recognized for their valuable contributions at the beginning of the event before dining with students.
I am very appreciative of the scholarship that I received. One, because I could receive this great education, and plus it's like, it makes me want to actually donate to other scholarships in order so other people could receive their education.
This was the 27th year for the Scholarship Luncheon.
From one type of success to another in the form of graduation success. A select group of students are ahead in their course and now have the option to graduate early a semester this December. Graduating early allows students to save money by avoiding an extra semester of tuition. It will also allow them to begin their job search before the majority of students graduating in May. However, there are also disadvantages to graduating early, such as losing time with your friends and missing spring events. One QU student who was graduating early gave us his thoughts about the process.
I don't know if I would recommend students to graduate early. I think it's really up to their choice. If they want to stay those 4 years, you never get those 4 years back. So college is, once a lifetime experience for probably 99% of people. So if they want to stay the 4 years, they should stay the 4 years. If they want to graduate early, there's nothing wrong with that either. It's really a personal preference, I think.
And here's some tips that those not graduating may be able to use. Have you ever opened your inbox to see dozens of unimportant messages? You have to search through all of those unread emails to find the one that you were looking for. USA Today College has some tips for college students to keep your inbox free of clutter. Good emailers respond as quickly as possible. Have your emails sent to your phone and respond as soon as they come in. Make your emails fun. Have inbox clearing parties with your friends on Sunday night before going to class on Monday. Sit with your friends, watch Netflix, and delete every unnecessary email. Go off the grid every now and then and let your Fridays and Saturdays, or maybe your dinner times, be no email times. Let your personal time be all yours. Make your email into your to-do list. At your Sunday night email parties, email reminders to yourself so that your Monday morning you may have a clearer mind. Start your day off by going through your emails. Obviously, this will not be the only time you go through them throughout the day, but you'll feel more productive if you get a head start. Remember, checking your school email daily is just as important as checking your personal emails. Teachers and administrators use it to communicate important messages about you to classes and school business.
Coming up, we'll have a check on this upcoming stormy forecast.
And a popular sitcom from the 90s is making a comeback. We'll be right back.
Yes. Growing up, I had one deaf friend, and that was the only deaf person I knew before coming to school here at QU. And now I regularly get to hang out and socialize with the deaf community, which has been awesome. Sign language isn't exactly like learning another spoken language because you use your body, facial expressions, your hands are your instruments. So it is definitely learning a new language. It has its own grammar and syntax and everything. It's not exactly like English like a lot of people think it is.
Welcome back. Well, it's been a warm and dry past weekend around Quincy.
But it looks like spring storms could dominate the upcoming forecast. QUTV's Allison Malone has the damp forecast. Allison?
Thanks, guys, and let's get started on our weekly forecast that is up ahead. Starting on Friday, May 1st, it's going to be a nice 73 degrees, a nice way to start off the month of May. This nice spring weather is happening, and it's a nice day to go out and have some fun. And then on Saturday, it's going to be a 77 degrees. It's going to be cloudy that day, but we still have a nice warm day. And then and we also have a double header that day. I almost forgot. We almost have a double header for men's baseball. So it's a nice day to go out, kick back, and watch the game. And on Sunday, it's going to be a nice 88 degrees, almost 90 degrees. So we're really starting to see this summer weather, the spring weather turn into summer weather. And then on Monday, we are going to have 84 degrees. It is going to be a slight thunderstorm. And then on Tuesday, we're going to have 84 degrees once again. It's going to be partly cloudy. And as you can see, we do have a couple of 84s across the board. But as the days go by, I'm sure it would change, but we will still stay in the 80s. And then on Wednesday, it's going to be, once again, a partly cloudy day. And then on Thursday, it's going to be an 81 degrees, slight thunderstorm, but it's okay. We can deal with that. As you can see, we're going to stay in the 80s within the week. So we're starting to get this nice summer weather. Summer actually doesn't start until June 21st. But as you can see, we're already starting to get it. And that is it for your weekly forecast. Back to you guys.
A full house just got fuller. Last week, it was announced that the 90s hit TV show Full House would be making a return. Netflix is bringing the sitcom back as Fuller House with a 13-episode season. Many students on campus have mixed feelings about the show's return. Take a look.
I don't know, I watched the show a lot growing up, and it's really cool to see them coming back. I don't know how they're going to do it because they're just going to be like, oh, 50 years later, here we are. So.
Well, I feel like Full House should not return to television. When it was on air, back in the day, it was a great show. It had great content and homey feelings to it and everything with the whole family and everything. But if it came back on air, I just don't think it would have the same power as it did back then.
I had no idea it was returning. The only thing I know is that my sister used to watch it all the time. It was about the only TV show she would watch, and it got kind of annoying. So, just hoping she doesn't know. Doesn't find out that it's coming back.
Actually, I've watched quite a few episodes of Full House, especially when I was like in high school. But if it's anything like Girl Meets World, because I really enjoy Boy Meets World, so if it's anything like that, I probably won't watch it.
I have mixed feelings on it because I liked the show Full House when I was younger, but I'm afraid it might not be able to compete with all the shows that we have today.
Coming up, we have some weird and wacky stories from around the web in this week's Hawkward segment.
And all the latest in QU sports. We'll be right back.
It isn't a building. It isn't an arena or field. It isn't a classroom. It's a friendship. It's the bonds you form. It's an opportunity. It's the experience. It's a Q thing. Schedule your visit today.
Welcome back. Well, QU women's softball ended their season on a high note.
And men's baseball hit it home in their latest game. QUTV's Andrew McCulloch has all that and more in QU Sports. Andrew?
With the spring athletic season coming to a close and winding down, should I say, the Hawks sports teams are looking to pick up a couple crucial victories to keep their seasons alive. How about the men's volleyball team? They entered their conference quarterfinal match against Loyola Chicago on a 4-game losing streak. And Coach Foster's team struggles would continue as their season would end in Loyola Chicago. They lose in straight sets by a final of 3-0. The Hawks end their season 13-15. Loyola Chicago 22-2 on the season. For QU, it's Jack Gamachi with 8 kills, 2 aces, leading the game in kills, I should say, for all teams. And Cody Caldwell for Loyola with 7 kills. Now, the Lady Hawks softball team has been struggling in conference play all season, and they would look to end their season on a high note against St. Joseph's in a doubleheader. And they would lose game 1 by a final score of 7-5. But could Coach Obert's team send their seniors off with a W in game 2? Let's go to Marty Heinen Softball Complex to find out. We've got Tiffany Harbison striking out her first batter right there. She had a heck of a game, as you'll see. How about another one? Caught looking, strike 3 right there. And how about Kelsey Lee for the Lady Hawks? She's going to hit a ground ball to short. The throw from short's going to be a little low. They're going to call this one an error on Kelsey Lee. But let's go back to Tiffany Harbison. The sophomore had 11 strikeouts. This batter thinks she's got ball 4. Nope, go back to the bench. That's a strikeout there. And finally, the Lady Pumas are going to swing and miss on that strikeout. 11 strikeouts for Harbison, and the Lady Hawks win game 2 by a final of 3-0. They are 19-27 to end their season. St. Joseph's 18-22. Harbison gets her 5th win of the season. She goes the distance, 7 innings pitched, 11 strikeouts, 4 hits, and Kelsey Lee would add in a home run and an RBI. Well, that men's baseball team hasn't been struggling as of late. They entered their non-conference match against McHenry on a 6-game winning streak. And thanks in part to Dominic Miles' 2-run single in the 9th inning, the Hawks were able to pull out their 7th consecutive victory, winning 7-5 against McHenry. They're 32-14 on the season. McHenry falls to 9-35. Corey Wisdom goes 3 for 4 with 2 RBIs. David Jacob adds 3 hits and a run scored. And as those QU Hawks baseball team try to get the #1 seed for the GLVC Conference Championship, you can track their progress right here on QUTV every single week. Signing off for QUTV Sports, I'm Andrew McCulloch. Back to you, Colleen.
Thanks, Andrew. Right now we have Randy Swope with us with this week's odd and awkward stories from around the web in this week's Hawkward segment. Randy?
Thanks, guys, and welcome back to this week's Hawkward segment, where we bring you the weirdest and wackiest stories from around the web. So let's get started. The next story here gives a whole new meaning on the phrase stranger danger. That's right, kids. Do not get into this guy's van or bus. A convicted sex offender in Utah has been charged with vehicle theft and attempt child kidnapping after allegedly stealing a school bus and trying to pick up children in it. The 30-year-old Patrick James Fredrickson was arrested after police got a call about a suspicious male driving a school bus around Cleveland. And it gets worse. Police quickly found out upon further investigation that Fredrickson is a convicted sex offender who was on parole. It turns out he stole a school bus and used a list that he found in the bus containing names and directions in an attempt to pick up one child at her home. Frederickson is in custody facing a number of felony charges, but it turns out that this feisty felon also broke a water pipe in his jail cell after being taken into custody. So now he is being charged with damaging a jail in addition to his other charges. Yikes! We keep on wondering how Frederickson thought he could get away with this, because we all know nothing is more inconspicuous than bright yellow school buses while attempting to commit a crime. Awkward. And speaking of jail, this next story about a creative con man brings up to England. 28-year-old Neil Moore awaits sentencing after he used a smuggled cell phone to create a fake British government email account and persuaded prison officials to set him free. That's right. This hustler was able to break himself out of a maximum security facility. Moore used a cell phone that prisoners are not allowed to have, utilized an internet domain registration service to create a fake web address closely resembling a government one. And it gets better. He even posed as a court clerk and sent an email telling prison managers that he'd be granted bail. Prosecutors are calling this a scheme of one extraordinary criminal inventiveness, devious, and creativity. Wow. If only Moore could have used his creative genius for good. Don't worry, the domain has expired, and Moore is pleading guilty to 8 counts of fraud and 1 count of escape from a lawful custody. We just hope that security at Moore's next place of incarceration more secure than this scrambling, and that the prisoner managers could be less gullible as well. Awkward. From con artists to cute calls, this story will have you going, aww. A duck call ringtone helped a Louisiana firefighter rescue 6 ducklings from a storm drain. A spokesman from fire department say, with the realistic quacking sounds coming from his cell phone, it took firefighters around 90 minutes to catch the first 4 baby ducklings from the drain. They then rescued the others after giving them about an hour to calm them down. Although 6 ducklings were reunited with their mother in the canal behind the home where the ducklings were rescued from. This is the fire station's 2nd duck rescue in a week. They recently rescued a duck that got stuck in a chimney. All ducks are now waddling happily after their rescue. It looks like these firefighters fit the bill when it comes to being an animal lovers. Hopefully no other animals need rescuing soon, seeing as these firefighters have other business to attend to. Awkward. Well, fortunately that's all you have for this week's Awkward segment. As always, tune in next week for more crazy and kooky stories from around the web. I'm Randy Swope, and I'm sending it back to the news desk.
Thanks, Randy. Andrew joins us now at the desk. What do you think about the revival of Full House show on Netflix?
Well, as a kid, it was a show that I watched a lot. I've probably seen about every single episode, so I'll be interested to see what they do with it. I don't know if I'll watch like the entire season, but I'll probably tune into the first episode and give it a chance.
Fair enough. Well, that's it for us this week. Remember, as always, to tune in online on Facebook or on Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. For the entire QUTV team, I'm Colleen McCormick.
I'm Andrew McCulloch.
And I'm Courtney Gear. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.